Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode number 10 of the Stevenage Football Club podcast, hosted by myself and Borough fan Matt Farley, along with guests of the podcast, discussing everything Borough, everything League Two, every week of the season. Now, we do have a busy podcast tonight. We've had 2 matches since our last pod. So we've got a lot to discuss, and also it is our 10th episode, so we're into double figures, fellas, which is fantastic. With me tonight, I have got my, once again, second in command. A massive welcome back to Harley Clark. Welcome, Harley.
Hello, always good to be here.
I know, regular. I say it to you every week.
It's becoming a thing now, isn't it?
Especially with me and you being on Dream Team.
God, yeah.
We make a bit of a couple in that regard, don't we?
We're matching as well.
we do. Now we do have a brand new guest on the podcast today. We have got fantastic Borough fan. I'm going to name this person. Fantastic Borough fan. He knows a shout. A massive welcome to Nate. Nate, welcome.
All right, yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem.
Happy to be here.
It's great to have you on, mate. It's nice when we get new people, isn't it?
It's always good.
And we can talk and we meet new people. It's really, really good. As we do with every new guest that we have, Nate, what do you think of the podcast so far?
It's been all right.
Not too bad?
No, yeah, it's been a good listen. Getting me through some boring days at work. So
it seems to be doing that for a lot of everyone,
yeah.
Isn't it? And I just want to ask as well, when was your first match at Stevenage? When you first started going?
I think it's the trophy game against York, but it's pretty crap to be the first game at a final somewhere, isn't it? So I'd say probably Tamworth, actually. Tamworth. The season we went up 1-1, newly promoted Tamworth. It was a drab contest.
Opening match of the season.
And I distinctly remember leaving and thinking, I ain't coming here again.
And then
10 years later, a decade later, I'm still here, season ticket holder.
And at the end of that season, we got promoted.
And absolutely miserable still. So.
Oh, no, fantastic. No, it's great to have you on, mate. And so we want to get as much new people on as possible. So it's nice to kind of get new people on.
Yeah.
So, fellas, we've got a bit of a busy one tonight. We're going to go through the last 2 matches. We will start with Saturday. Now, obviously, we went into that match and I think everyone said we need a big win. It's the end of the month. We've had a tough month in August. Before Saturday, we only had 2 points on the board from 5 matches. And I think, we all went into that match against Macclesfield at home thinking, at home, let's finish the month with a win and try and move on to September. It was in my opinion, I thought it was a cracking game of football.
I thought it was a really good game.
2-2. We finally scored our first goal of the season. Goals, I should say. And what a cracking strike from Luther it was. Have to add in there. Harley, I'll come to you first. What were your thoughts on the point on Saturday? Do you think it was a good result, good performance? Could we have won?
We should have been about 4-0 up at half time. Like, I don't know how we... Oh, wait, no, I do, because it's us. I was going to say I don't know how we didn't score in the first half, but we had 4 or 5 opportunities to get... I wouldn't say clean cut chances, but they were good enough opportunities to score. I remember Arthur having a...
he's got to bury that, hasn't he?
He's got to bury it. It's just right in front of goal.
Harder to miss, wasn't it?
I know.
It was.
I started cheering before it went in.
Yeah, I think everyone did.
And then he somehow pulled it off.
I realised it was Arthur and I was like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Anywhere else and it's going in.
Yeah.
It is, he should have just hit it harder, shouldn't he?
But I think it's a point dropped. 2 points dropped because I thought we played a lot better than them.
They were no good, were they? Let's be honest.
No, they were very functional, weren't they?
They did the basics right. They knew how to do the basics, and then they got...
but they were 4th going into that game. How in the world are they 4th?
Yeah,
exactly.
They must have played some real fodder before that because they were not.
No, that's not.
They didn't look like a top 4, top 5 team.
Would you say that was probably our best performance this season? Do you reckon?
Yeah, country mile, wasn't it? We moved the ball nicely in the first half, but not so much in the second half. Even though we got the goals, we were on top for probably 35 or 45 minutes. We were everything but clinical, really, weren't we?
Yeah,
we were until the first goal went in. We'd been efficient at the back, mopping everything up, cleaning everything up, using the ball well. Joel's passing was leaps and bounds better than it has been all season. not everything was route one like we've seen a lot. But little lapses in judgment and people being out of position cost us a goal, and and with the current run of form, it's difficult to come back from that, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. I thought it was if you're going to look at our season as a start as a whole, I thought it was our best performance. I think obviously the one thing that we're disappointed about is we had so many chances to score more goals, didn't we?
We had 19 shots.
Well, I was going through these chances. You got Arthur's. You've actually got Guthrie's 2 headers. One hit the post.
And Guthrie had a chance. He didn't take the chance, but he was on the edge of the box desperately trying to find space. I think that's the problem with Guthrie at the moment, isn't it? He's so until he scored, he's he's visibly so desperate for a goal.
Eager to score, wasn't he?
He's trying to do too much. He's really, really trying.
It's kind of overdoing, isn't he? But then the other one that went amiss was I think it was Kellen Watts' header from the corner. Do you remember that one when the ball came over?
Had a really good header chance.
There were four or five headers that
it was unbelievable.
They were pretty open, and it's crazy that we didn't get them on target.
And if you want to throw Danny Newton's chance in there as well, 1-on-1, buries that's 3-2, isn't it? And it was just that was the only disappointing thing. I like the fact that we created those chances because at the start of the season we weren't having many shots, so it was quite nice.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see chances happening. As well. That was.
It gave us
a bit of a relief.
I don't. It is a relief, massive relief. But I don't think that, or rather, you can't just look at it and go, oh, that's better. There we are. There's a very clear change, and it was List, wasn't it? Let's be fair.
Yeah, he was
basically like Cherry's back, isn't he? Like he's really clever on the ball. He's really good with the ball at his feet. Like
you can see that he's played.
He wants to get on the ball, drive forwards.
You can see that he's been playing at a higher level. Quite consistently. Like Parrott was.
Very quick, very early on Saturday. I was like, I can see why the fans of Gillingham aren't happy that they've let him go. I mean,
do you know as well? I think as we saw with Chair, I think you need that type of player to bring the best out of Guthrie as well. I think you need a real top quality player. I'm not comparing List and Chair because Chair is obviously fantastic. List is as well, but what I mean is, I think for Guthrie to perform, you need a really excellent player behind him, don't you? Because
you need someone who can help him be the best. Because you look, let's say, like you said earlier, actually before the podcast started, when Chair came in, Guthrie hit form. They worked so well together because Chair could play the balls in that going right to say away at Mansfield last season when Guthrie scored the volley. If it weren't for Chair. And I'm not saying Chair made our season or anything like that because we would have ended up 6 points worse off. But those little moments of quality help really bring the best out of Guthrie. And
I agree.
I really believe they do. It's not just helping Guthrie find form, is it? It's the whole feeling around the team and the club.
When you're playing well, your fans are enjoying it, and you're not.
Chair might have only been worth 6 points by the end of the season, but actually. The positivity in the stands.
Exactly.
He kind of changed the whole feel about the club and the team.
I've never seen someone come in so early.
Never seen someone have such an impact.
I will be honest about this again, and I will say this again because we've had many players come in. He's a great signing. That's another excellent signing we've made.
I mean, ignoring the table so far. Look at the signings that we've had. So far this summer, it's unreal.
I think I said to you outside. It's so annoying because if you actually look at our team, if you put all of those players fit, we have an excellent side, and it's just such a shame that we've got Digby out, we've got Parrott out, we've got Cuthbert out. It's such a shame.
I might get lambasted for saying it. I reckon on paper, to me at least, it looks like an automatic promotion chasing.
I second that. I really do. I said this to you at the start of the season. I think we all said it, didn't we?
If we started well, I could have really seen us maintaining a high position the whole way through the season.
Unfortunately, tradition dictates that we don't start well, doesn't it?
With Stevenage, of course, it's gonna.
I will say this though. If again, I know September's a massive month for the team and the club because we need to start winning matches, but I have a feeling that if we can get these players back fit, we might go on a run in the winter. Might have seen that. Get Cuthbert, get Parrott, get Sonic, get all these players back fit. I know Nugent's quite close.
Someone's back this weekend.
Yeah, Cuthbert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuthbert's back this weekend.
I need to change
And
my lineup. Predicted lineup.
And apparently Dean Parrott's only a week away, they reckon, Carlisle. So
honestly, I hadn't even noticed that he was injured.
And Dean Parrott, he's had problems with his hamstring for the last 6 months. So I think that was just an occurring thing, and he's had to.
The unfortunate thing with Parrott is you kind of expect him to be out for a third of the season, don't you?
Yeah, that's it.
It's a very Parrott thing to be.
I completely agree. But we have to mention, boys, just before we read out the three-word analysis of Saturday's match, what a goal that was, wasn't it? From Luther.
That's possibly the best goal I've ever seen at Borough.
I will second that. I said this after. I think it might have been
just the way he took it.
I was trying to
stayed in the air.
I was trying to think of all the players that have scored excellent goals, and that is certainly.
Yeah, no, I'd go with that. Other than
Newt's volley, Newt's volley.
I mean, don't get me wrong. George Boyd used to score some great goals, but this was
a couple of
40-yard goal, Luther.
Danny Lopez goals against
Sheffield United. What a strike! What a strike!
But yeah, no, I can't think of many.
Dean Parrott's goal against Southend.
That's up there. That was a great goal.
Yeah.
But do you know what I loved about it? We scored our first goal of the season. Everyone was relieved. And then when he picks up the ball, when he hits that, the whole ground went.
I'll hold my hands up. As soon as he was shaking shit, I was like, "Don't hit it, do not." and then everybody else is going wild around me. I'm literally just stood there with my hands on my head. I'm not jumping around. I'm not screaming. I'm not celebrating. I'm just like,
yeah. Do you know what? I'm the same.
Jesus.
I was part cheering and part just kind of trying to understand what I just saw, what goal it was.
I was being trampled up underneath the.
There's
underneath.
One thing I really hate about goals like this, right? And it might make me look cynical, or maybe just appear as a realist. His performance wasn't good on Saturday.
Yeah, he did struggle at times, didn't he?
He played much better after the goal, which is it's great.
It's a motivation thing. If you do something well, you're going to start.
It gave him a bit of fire. Because he put in a couple of really good crosses into the box after that.
Yeah, before they were all going off.
There were one or two tackles after that, and he wasn't getting caught out consistently before after that.
I completely.
But leading up to that, I mean, where was he? Where was he when they broke down the left, broke down their left for the goal?
Yeah.
I mean, people are saying Stokes or whoever it was playing the lads on for the goal, but. Where's Luther?
Yeah, he was all the way out.
If you look at the footage as they break, he's turning as they're breaking. He's turning around
so much space,
to jog back.
Yeah, I think it's two things.
Awful position.
In an attacking sense, I thought it was a really good. I know that we had loads of chances, but much better performance. But in a defensive display, it was a bit not all over the place, but there were a lot of things where we need to improve on. Don't get me wrong. I know that we've got Cuthbert and Van Kooten and Nugent all missing, but no, I thought it was all right. I think it was. You can look upon it as 2 points drop with the chances, but it's a point on the board. All right, 3 points from 18 and being 23rd is not great.
I think the goals
at least at this current form and not going down is Scunthorpe.
That's now it's only been cut to one place. Now we will move on. To the 3-word analysis that supporters put into the tweets that I tweeted out. We will quickly read these out. We do it every week. The 3-word analysis on Saturday, we had Stephen Greenhill said, "What a goal." Barry, "We were robbed." I'm guessing Barry's alluding to the referee there. For the penalties?
Absolutely. I mean, we should have had a penalty in the first half when Lister's chopped. I think that might be the worst not given penalty I've seen in recent memory.
What really annoyed me?
I can't understand it. You can see where the referee. He's got a very clear view. Absolutely ruined.
Going on this, sorry, lad. Do you think there is actually an agenda against Stevenage when it comes to
genuinely the quality of the referees coming down?
That's my point.
Poor. I don't think they're good enough to.
I will say this. If you look back, Saturday was the difference. But if you look at Borough's last 3 league matches, so Mansfield, Bradford, Leyton Orient, all 3 of those referees have been moved up from the conference. So maybe inexperienced in I mean,
Yeah, so
a game of football's a game of football.
I'm saying that I agree with Nate, and that's my point. The quality of refereeing is very poor.
I
at this
agree.
level.
I think the quality of refereeing isn't great.
And there are a number of them that got proper egos. I mean, it's like Trevor Kettle syndrome on Saturday.
Yeah,
the guy just wanted to be involved. He was inconsistent. Some of the decisions he was making. I mean, there was a high foot when the guy's head was down by his knees, and then 5 minutes later, someone's jumping and his foot's 6 foot off the floor, and the ref's just
what annoys
not paying
me.
attention.
What annoys me
that is a really consistent pattern with referees at this level.
What annoys me is, Lists is a penalty. Kennedy's, we worked out that Hussein fouled someone, so that was the relation apparently to that. But if you're going to give Watts, you've got to give Lists. It's like one or the other. You can't not give Lists but give Watts. That doesn't make sense to me.
No, I actually disagree with that entirely.
Yeah.
Because I'd argue that it wasn't a foul for theirs. I don't think it was. I don't think it was a good shout.
I thought
you see them given.
Yeah.
But it might be one of those where you're fuming if it's given against you.
Yeah.
But you applaud the referee if it's given for you.
Yeah.
It's probably borderline. My immediate thought is I look at that on the replay and
I do see your point. For me, if that was one of our players, I'd be hollering for a penalty. I thought it was, just for the simple fact he's gone to clear it and he's kicked him by it. It was an accident, he didn't mean to. But I just think, if you're going to give that, I mean, you've got List going down.
List penalty shout was clear cut, and it's
good one from Barry, though.
It's
that
embarrassing, really.
Yeah, we were robbed. Good one. Hartley Borough said we battered them. You can have that. Old Borough Bar Steward. I have a feeling this is Borough Realist who's changed his name. Why is he changing his name so often? Old Borough Bar Steward. Oh God, carelessness costs points. It's not a bad 3-word nose. Reece Donnelly, an absolute battering. That's out there, Reece. Lock 13, shaken not stirred. Cobby said Luther James Wilding. I like that. And Danny Lusby said penalty cost us.
So see, that's second to last one, Luther James Wilding. Why he was rubbish up until that point. It's just another
great goal. I will give.
No, it was. I'm not taking
goal.
anything away from the goal. It's just you can't rate somebody's performance on a single goal when they were pretty diabolical for 65, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
There was only one player on the pitch up until that point. It was worse than him.
But no, thank you to all the fans that sent in 3-word analysis. We'll be doing it this Saturday again. Please look out on Twitter and Facebook, and you can send in your 3-word analysis, and you'll get a shout on the podcast. So obviously we moved on from Saturday, 3 points out of 18 after 6 matches. Now we did have a match last night. Originally, I was going to call it...
It was a training match.
Yeah, I was going to call it the leasing.com opening group match, but I'm going to call it the Football League Trophy group match, because the leasing.com
I don't know who it was. I saw someone on Twitter call it, I don't know, find a fan.
The boycott competition.
Find a fan cup or something. I mean, it's...
Yeah, we will quickly mention it. We're not going to talk about it a lot because obviously, it's not looked upon as a great competition with all the Premier League under teams. But we did have a match last night. MK Dons opening group match in the Football League Trophy, lost 3-0. I mean, it was far from Borough's first team. Had a lot of the younger boys playing. Jamie Fielding, Louis Fernandez, a few of the strong ones in there.
I don't think we played badly.
I didn't think we played badly. Had a couple of good chances, and we have to mention last night as well. Got announced this week a loan signing of Craig McCall-Smith, which is a very experienced player to come to the club. It was great to see him play last night, and he nearly scored, didn't he? So it was really good. And I tend to think that
we had a few near chances last night.
Yeah, but Cowley played really well.
Cowley looks like he's going to be a star at some point for us.
I completely agree. And I think that last night was really just a bit of game time for the players that haven't necessarily played. Bastian played.
I love him already.
He's a machine.
I love him already.
He was coming out for balls, and he was brilliant. And that save he made to the top left corner. So
it was so overdramatic.
I think we said to you, Natalie, diving up and catching him was about 4 or 5 feet off the air, wasn't he? But no,
can't blame the goalkeeper for wanting to get him a bit over the top.
Exactly.
In some cases, I mean, I know last night it wasn't the case, but in some cases they stood around for 25 minutes with nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I understand goalkeepers wanting just to do something stupid and risky.
Get the cameras out, I think, alluded to someone who said behind him when he made it. Could you imagine? So the shame it was the wrong match to do it, wasn't it? Not a league game. He does it in the old league.
But watch, he won't play a game this season unless Farmer gets injured.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
Which is a bit of a shame.
Sorry, one point I missed from Saturday. Their keeper's pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he made some of the saves.
Three or four absolutely.
Do you know what though? The Bradford keeper did that as well when he saved Danny. We've got unlucky with some, but no, it was. I mean, I know there's a boycott about the competition, but again, it was a little bit disappointing to lose 3-0 again because you can look upon it as a competitive fixture, but another loss, it's a bit like, get a result. But hey, look, it's not
the important competition, is it?
It's not
I think it's clearly the Hot Senior Cup. That's the one we want to win.
Yeah, I like that. I love the Hot Senior Cup, but I think when we have matches like last night in the Football League Trophy, I tend to say if any of the big players playing don't get injured, and that was my only disappointing thing, was Saul's just getting a knock or having a little hamstring injury. Hopefully Saul's is back on Saturday. I think
they took him off last night just as a precaution.
Yeah. But it was good for Kenners to get more minutes. Kenners come on, looked decent, nearly scored, didn't he?
What's happened to his knee surgery that's
actually
magically disappeared? Or
maybe he's had injections.
Or if some people are to be believed, was never required in the first place.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that Dino might have said it to ward people off because Dino's quite good at that.
Or to get a reaction out of Kenners.
To be honest with you, I love Dino, but I can't really believe everything that he says because there's been so many times when we go into a match and he says, say for example, Cuthbert's definitely out. I mean, then we'll see the team sheet. He's in the team.
You've grown up supporting Wesley sides, and you
know the system, right?
You got to take everything that's said by these guys with a pinch, haven't you? Really?
Oh, I know. Okay, they're from the same cloth almost, aren't they? But yeah,
I love all that though. I love a bit of cloak and daggers, just winding people up.
Yeah, I think at Borough for the last 6 years we've been guilty of not doing it too much. We were Sal and Gary Smith. We didn't really be looked upon as that not nasty side, but the side that would do anything to win a game.
Yeah,
we've missed it for years.
Gary Smith and Sali wanted a different brand of football, and as much as watching teams knock it around is nice,
it's not effective.
Well, it wasn't always nice for them either, to be honest.
No, but when it worked under Sali, we played some amazing football.
I think under Sal we were better in the summer.
Did we though? Are you just like, for me, I can't look at we had phases of play where we passed it really well, but we never got anywhere near the goal at the time.
Do you know what?
Didn't score nearly enough goals, so I wouldn't say the football under Sal was beautiful or entertaining. It was as frustrating as it has been.
I found with Sol, but what I found with Sol in his season before last, obviously when he got sacked, when we'd win 3 or 4-0,
and we'd win well.
When we lost,
it was
3 or 4-0.
I will say this about Sol: in the summertime, he did well. At the start of the season, we did have good starts under him. But when we went into the winter, we played terribly. I thought under Sol.
Yeah. I don't honestly. I know people. There are still people who miss him, and
I miss him as a coach.
Don't agree with him being gone.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed football more under Dino than I have under
I've got to be honest. I know a lot of people.
At times, or like January last year was the worst period I've ever seen at Stevenage. Worse. I go as far as saying worse than Teddy times. Like it was absolute garbage.
Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people like Sol and miss him. I got this. I don't particularly. I don't really miss the guy. I thought I went.
It's very divisive character.
I went every week to watch a team quite clearly not perform, and it was quite obvious what was wrong with the side, but he just couldn't understand it. And then what I didn't like is that he wasn't taking any of the blame on a lot of the results. And for me, I didn't actually meet Sol. I met him a couple of times briefly, but I prefer Dino. I prefer the setup we've got now. And obviously he's at Yeovil, so he might be back in the Lamets next season.
I never met him, but my brother played under him when he was at college, and he said that he's a wonderful coach, but he's not a very nice person.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that.
I think everybody's spent any time.
Completely agree. Yeah,
and you can be a not very nice person, but you have to be an unbelievable coach to get away with it.
Yeah,
particularly at this level where success doesn't come very easily.
No, if you get found out,
you'll get found out.
You're done.
Exactly, as we've seen at Borough for many years. But no, moving on from last night, we're sitting here now, lads, with 3 days. We've got our first League Two match in September. September's looking to be a big month. 3 home matches and 2 away matches. On Saturday, we've got our 7th League Two match of the season away at Cheltenham. Now, we're going to have a quick discussion about this game. I have said for the last month, every week, need a win Saturday, and it hasn't happened. Now, Saturday, I look upon as a really important match. If we can get a win and just get that kind of 6-point cushion beneath us, and hopefully September
don't win.
Yeah, hopefully it's going and get 6 points beneath the club and the team. Hopefully September we can start to put wins together. Nate, I'll ask you Saturday. Do you see us getting a win finally?
I do, and I'm basing this. I'm not looking at Cheltenham's recent form or the fact that you said earlier that they may not have lost at home since January or something.
Yeah.
I look purely at what we did in the last game of the season against them last year. They were borderline the worst team I've ever seen play. They were absolutely.
And I've watched Stevenage play.
I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean, that includes some of the performances in January last year. They were absolutely horrendous.
I mean, they've had a mediocre start. I'm looking here. They've got 8 points. They're 11th. They've got. It's really weird their form. They've got 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. So it's very even across their form. But
no, I reckon. You know, if reports are to be believed, with certain people coming back into the squad, maybe not starting, but coming back and getting involved.
Hopefully, we can nick a win there.
So even if
I think it probably will be a bit of a nick a win. I know I'm saying they're a dreadful side, but you know, kind of at this level, whenever you go away, unless you batter someone, you're nicking a win, aren't you? Because the home crowd really does, really can make a huge difference.
From our point of view as well, if we can just get 6 points on the table, we're playing a little bit of catch up as well. I mean, I've worked up. We'll only be 2 points off them if we get a win Saturday.
I don't even think the win. As much as we keep saying we need a win,
would you take a draw?
I don't think the win's important. I think the performance, and more importantly, a couple of goals. Honestly, if we come away with a 2-2, we've got 2 more goals. It's moving in the right direction. It might not be sprinting there, but it's moving in the right direction. As long as we keep improving and keep scoring goals,
because I think I said this to
the
you.
rest will come once we're back to full strength.
I completely agree. I think I said this to you, Harley, didn't I? You know, if you actually look at the last 4 or 5 matches, we've been competitive, haven't we? 0-0s, 1-0s. They've been close, haven't they? So Saturday will be a really good indicator for our performance.
When we're losing, we're not conceding many goals either. We're only losing like 1 or 2.
Best defensive record in the division.
And that's with Cuthbert and Nugent out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Van Kooten as well. Imagine when those 3 who, you know, are all starters, aren't they, really? Well, maybe not. Van Kooten should be a starter, but whether he is or not, because Dino loves Welding. But, you know, arguably, they're free first team.
I mean, if you look, I mean, we've conceded, 6 goals? We've conceded a goal per game. So, I mean, it's not dreadful, is it? At all.
That's really good form,
for a team that's second bottom. It's quite good, isn't it?
If you can go through the season only conceding 1 goal a game on average,
you're
not going down, are you?
No, not at all. We're going to be up there. So
unless you lose literally 1-0 every week,
it's not going to happen. I mean, Harley, what do you think about the match this Saturday? Would you regard it as a must-win type of game?
I don't.
A draw's good enough.
I think every game's must-win because at this level you have to win.
You want to win every match you play, don't you? That's the part.
But I'll take a draw. As much as
away against anybody in the league, you've got to
take a point. I completely agree. I say this every week. If you're not going to win, take a point because you've got
as long as you.
As cliche as it sounds, take a point.
I mean, that is boiling back football down to its absolute base.
That's a bit like Michael Owen there.
It's very much a case of as long as you don't lose your away games, you'll always be in for a really good shout of a high finish.
Exactly. I've said this many times over the last month. I'm going to be wrong. I'm quite confident for Saturday. I think last Saturday was our best performance. Should have scored a lot more. I think that's quite evident. And I think with the few new additions that we've got, List and Mikhail Smith, I'm quite confident we might go there and nick a win on Saturday.
The only concern I've got with Mikhail Smith, and I love the guy. I think he's an absolute top, or was an absolute top player for this level, League 1, League 2. My only concern is that it might be 2-3 years too late. Like he is coming towards the end of his career, and let's be honest.
Interesting to see him in.
And he could be. I'd like to, you know, even if he doesn't do the business on the field, he could have a massive impact off.
He's a massive player to have in your squad, isn't it?
Exactly, and help the guys around him. You know, he's an absolutely proven goal threat.
Do you know, it's a really good point.
And you lose the pace, you don't lose the instinct.
Yeah.
You don't really lose the ability. Your body kind of lets you down. That poacher's instinct, you don't lose it, do you?
You ever think
I've wanted him for years at Borough.
I've
wanted to see him for years.
And that's the same as like 3 or 4 signings this summer, by the way. I mean, Tom Sawers, that I've been like,
because I remember watching Macau Smith when he's
for a couple of years.
Peterborough and Brighton. He was
if someone said to me,
forget he played at Leeds.
yeah, exactly. If someone said to me, name a player who played for Brighton, Macau Smith's my first name.
Yeah, I mean, he's played at a really good level, and I think I was reading his stats the other day. He scored 187 goals, so he's got a good goal platform. To be honest, I mean, it will be interesting. I'd like to see him play Saturday and see how he kind of plays with Guthrie. That'll be an interesting partnership, but it's a big match for us. And
his off the field impact could be like Revs.
Yeah, I completely agree. So around a similar age range as well, almost. But I'm going to ask you this, boys, really quickly, just before we move on to team selections. I'll ask you first, Nate. Would you say that, we've got a massive month? Obviously, this Saturday's the start of a really big month. 3 home matches, 2 away. Would you say that this month is a make or break month for Dino and the team?
Dino, yes. The team, no. If Dino gets to the end of September, no wins, at this level, I don't think that you survive that, do you?
After 2 months.
Maybe if he draws all the games and we score him hatfuls, but we're just like, if we have another 4 performances like Saturday, he might survive. But if he comes away with 2 draws and 2-3 losses, whatever it is. I don't see him. I don't see him surviving, because how can you back a manager who literally isn't inspiring the team into
2 months,
anything? Like, injuries only drag you down so far. At the end of the day, you've got players coming back. It's very tough to go.
What do you think, Harley? Do you think?
I don't know. I can't make.
Would you, for example, because we've got so many injuries, would you say until they come back, then you've got a fair observation, or would you say actually
until they
you need results
until they start coming back? Because as it's been shown, we do have replacements that we can bring in into the team. Like granted, obviously Lou Fernandez was a spur at the moment.
He shouldn't need 8-9 players back in that team to start winning.
I got to be honest.
When we were that close on Saturday with how many out?
I've got to be completely honest. With Macau Smith coming in, I actually think we've got a good enough team to win. I do. I think that there's players there. We've cut
Macau Smith looked really sharp last night.
I mean, the likes
of players. I mean,
at the moment, if you look at the players that are fit, a team like probably if you look at maybe some of the boys that come down, you'd expect Plymouth to maybe even give us a bit of a hiding at the team we've got fit now. You get everyone back, I can see us going and doing a job.
I completely agree with a lot of
Cheltenham,
those teams.
on the other hand, current team, should be able to go.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting Saturday. Again, we need a win. We need those 6 points, but don't lose them at Saturday. At least take a point if we're not going to win. Now, we will come on to team selection. Now, Harley, we'll start with your team first. Now, I want to hear what team you'd select for our 7th League match on Saturday. And give us a little explanation of why you've chosen that team.
So in goal, Foreman, as usual.
Obviously.
I don't think
best keeper in the league at the minute, would you say?
Yeah,
on the stats.
I mean, from stats and everything at the moment, he's in
top,
a crowd.
Top dog, isn't he?
He's top of the crowd of about 3 or 4 keepers that are absolutely banging, isn't they?
Completely agree. Yeah.
Centre offs, I'm going Louis and possibly Cuthbert if he's back.
Okay.
Because I've heard rumblings and been
rumblings. I love that word. I've heard rumblings.
Of his imminent return.
Yeah, okay.
Is what's grumbling about being dropped then?
Literally. Okay, so you've got them 2?
Then wing backs, I'm going Stokes and Wilding.
Yeah, okay.
Again, I think it's a case of we don't have any other options at the moment. Denton came back last night.
Is he fully fit yet? Do you reckon? Is he going to take time?
He didn't look amazing last night.
How many minutes has he had all season?
Exactly.
Even if he's physically raring to go, he's probably lacking a little bit of sharpness.
Don't get me wrong though. I think he can be a really good player. He just needs games. I think. Midfield.
Byram, Saws.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit torn as to who I'd go with in that middle attacking role in midfield 3, because Husein's not going to be here. Parrott's still out for the time being. So I'd be a bit like, do I play Cowley there?
No. It's
I
what
mean,
it'd be here for.
But that's my point because I'm a bit.
Do you mean Cowley in the centre attacking role?
Yeah,
Just off?
yeah.
Okay.
Like just behind the striker rather than more like a 4-2-1-3.
Yeah. Like
So would that be your team? And you'd have that three across.
Yeah, just because I'm a bit stumped as to who we've got.
Okay.
Then
And you two up top.
my three up top.
Oh, sorry, three up top. Sorry.
God. I've got List out wide.
Yeah.
Guthrie through the middle.
Okay.
And then Kenner's on the right.
Okay. That's a good
Bring
team. I like that. Yeah, 4-3-3, very attacking as well. Got some good players going forward.
And then vice versa, if I wanted to, I could bring Cowley out onto the right wing and put Kenners into that attacking role in the midfield.
In the midfield as well, coming off the forward line. Like that team, Harley. Really, really good there. I like the way you've had a lot of attacking. Nate, I'll come to your team, mate. Again, talk us through your team. Quick description, and then just tell us why you've chosen that team.
Farman, obviously. Right back, I wrote Luther if I have to. Obviously, if he was banging them in, then great.
Do you know, I'm going to call him Luther 45-yard Wilding now. That's my little nickname for him.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a bit of a long one.
It's like Luther James, isn't it? Almost just a couple of different words.
Fernandez and Cuthbert.
Okay.
I put Stokes or Denton, and I put literally don't care which. Because neither are amazing defensively, but both pretty good going forwards. Also, with Denton more so I'm led to believe from my sources.
Yep.
Not sources. But yeah, probably Stokes, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was okay Saturday, and I'd like to see.
He made team of the week.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think you can
actually.
ever rely on that. I mean,
I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying
they're
it's.
forever listing people out of position as well, aren't they? Like, it's just
Put Wild in the centre.
it's a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
It's a bit dodgy. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think he was amazing Saturday, but he was good. He was good.
He was good, yeah. What's your midfield?
So centre mids, I've got Byram and Tom Saws.
Okay.
I've gone 4-4-2 with my selection, but I know it's not going to be, so I feel like I should probably change it a little bit. But I've got List out right. I put Kenners out left.
Yeah.
And I put Taylor in behind. But I'd actually quite like to see Carter in there and pushed forward.
I forgot about Carter.
I've got him in my team.
He's obviously he's obviously making a step up.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with him. Really impressed with him.
I've liked him. I thought he played brilliantly in Leighton Orient that day.
Till he got injured.
Yeah.
I don't think the way he plays lends himself to being like a centre mid.
No, to me he
needs to be pushed forward because he's got that
he's got
that creativity that
he's reminded me a lot of
pushed on. But he needs like a bit of a free role, I think.
He's reminded me of what Kenners was when he first came in to the team. You know that he's clearly got attacking threat.
Just needs matches.
Yeah, I mean the problem with Kennedy is he only tends to play well if he's brought on 60 minutes. I can't remember the last time I saw him start a game.
Do you know? I think
and he's been quality from start to finish. I'm literally like racking my brains. I don't think I've ever seen him play well.
I just said this to Harley.
He does it in like spurts, doesn't he? He has like 10 minutes here and there where he's really good, and he's completely absent for the rest of the game.
I just said this to Harley actually. I'd love Kenners to kind of transform into to not someone coming off the bench, but someone that could start. Like I want him to mature to the point where, and hopefully he's getting there soon because he's played well when he's come on.
He needs to develop like Freeman did, doesn't he? Let's be fair. Like Freeman when he came in, he was really great impact sub, but he couldn't start a game because he went missing.
He's got so much talent, Ben Kennedy, as well. He's got so much talent. He could really play in the high leagues. He just needs to mature. And what have you gone with your forward looking midfield?
I put Newton or Mikel Smith. I really struggle whenever I think about who I'd like to play. I really struggle to not put Newton in just because he's not going to get you a goal every game, but you're never going to have anyone on the pitch running his arse off as much. Let's face it. Like I love the effort he puts in, but he also has the ability to nick a goal or two. Mikel Smith just because I'd like to see what he's got still. And I avoided Guthrie because I think his amazing form at the end of the season is a bit kind of papers over the fact that he didn't actually have
score
that
a lot
great
in
a
the
season.
season.
That great season, did he? He didn't score a hatful.
No. It
Like,
was only ones
like
and ones.
like
over the months.
he definitely believes he can be scoring.
Yeah.
Like he's got all the confidence in his ability in the world. I don't.
You don't see it. No, that's absolutely fine. And good team though. I like that team. Again, there's a lot of good quality players.
Probably like a 4-2, then like 3, and then just one up.
And then
top.
one up. You got 3 supporting. I like that team, mate. Really, really good. Thanks for going through that, mate. That's a really good team. I'll quickly fly through my team, and then we'll get onto the League 2 roundup. My team, again, Paul Farmer, no brainer. I've gone for a different formation this Saturday.
Of course you have.
I've been a bit creative with this team. I sat at home earlier thinking, all right, what can I do with this team? So I've actually gone for a 4-1-3-2 set up with the team. My team, I've gone for Luther at right back. My 2 centre halves, I've gone Scott Cuthbert, if he's fit. I've heard that he is. I've gone Scott Cuthbert with Kellen Watts at the back, with Stokes at left back. I don't think Denton will start Saturday. I think he'll play Stokes and give Denton more matches as he gets fitter. So that's my back 4. Now, this was a bit of a toss-up between 2 players to sit in front of the back 4. And because I wasn't sure if Stokes is fit, I've gone Joel. But I'm not sure if Sawes is.
I don't like that.
I'm not sure if Sawes is fit. I don't know what's going on there. If Sawes is fit, I play Sawes.
You playing him like an anchor man.
Just to sit and distribute.
Joel, I don't.
But
Joel's distribution
isn't
good enough for that.
If Sawes is fit, then I'd put Sawes to sit in front. But it's just dependent if he's fit or not. Then the 3 in front. I have got List, but I've put List on the left hand side. Been a bit creative. And on the right hand side, I've put Kenners to come in on his left. In the middle of those 2, just off the 2 centre forwards, I've gone for Charlie Carter to play. Like Carter, I think he's played well when he's played. Again, he just needs minutes, but looks a really good attacking player. He's young, he's fresh. I like the look of Charlie. And then my 2 up top, I've chosen Curtis Guthrie and Mikhail Smith. Wouldn't mind seeing Mikhail Smith start. Would play Danny Newton, but I'd like to see Mikhail Smith start. Sorry, I know that he hasn't had a lot of game time, but be interesting to see him and Guthrie together.
It's not like he's not been training though, so it's...
Well, that's it. He said in the interview, he's fully fit, ready to go. So I'd like to see how he does then. If he doesn't, then
one of the good things about not starting Newton is that you bring him on 65, 70 minutes, you know he's going to have an impact.
He always does. I mean, Saturday nearly scored, didn't he? Macclesfield away last season scores.
People were saying that Carter coming on changed the game, but it didn't. Newton did.
Yeah.
Newton came on and immediately had their back line worried.
Yeah. And I think with that team, there's a lot on the bench there to come. And you've got Cowley, you've got Newton, you've got so many players.
We have a lot of attacking threat this year.
We do, yeah. We do have a lot. Paul Taylor, I know that Taylor's had a tough start.
I can't remember. He's been fantastic picking up the ball and moving with it. His distribution
he's been giving it
and
away
his finishing has been poor.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it will come though.
His feet are so quick. But I think he'd give Chair a run for his money and just how well he's got where he uses the ball at his feet.
I completely agree. Yeah, I do. I really do. I completely agree. I think that he's got a lot of good talent. Paul Taylor. Again, he scored some great goals in the past. So again, he can come off the bench. So that would be my team. But really good to go through the teams, fellas, for Saturday.
I'm not sure I agree with you with Watts. He worries me a little.
Do you know? I think he's a really good player. You know,
he's not got a right foot, is he?
I mean,
how many times on Saturday did he smack it diagonally long with his left when he had a really simple pass with his right foot that would get him out of trouble? I mean, easily 3 or 4 times in the second half alone, he's losing the ball just by pumping.
I mean,
it
I like him because
he doesn't want to take it on his right, and then the one time he took it on his right, he flicked it around an attacker beautifully. I'm like.
Yeah.
If you can do that once, you can do it 4 times. Stop smashing it.
I mean, I like him. I think because he plays a lot of England under-20 games, he's a good player. I play him.
I like him to have a bit more confidence with his right then. He just
saying
but it worries me because it's not going to be long until he gives it away really cheaply on the edge of the box because he could have just played a right-footed pass and we've lost
the way he was taking free kicks last night though was unreal.
To be fair, he had a really good game in Mark Turner. Was it Jordan Bowery? He played, didn't he?
Bowery played.
Martin really well. He's a really good player. Now, going through the team, it's been going about 45 minutes. So now it is a little bit disappointing. I did ask, a bit like Nate did last week, someone to do a fan's voice, but I got no replies. So we've got no fans' voice this week.
Even if I'm on next time, I'll still stand.
Probably because Nate's on this week that we did. But I will put out there, again, I want to get an accumulation of supporters sending in 30-second voice clips of what they think. But we will be putting fans' voice out there next week. Also, next week is the return of Harley and Farley's Disagreement Corner.
Fantastic.
But he's back next week.
I was really looking forward to seeing
I
that.
know, we
live.
do it every other week.
Are you kidding me?
Do you know what, Nate? We will get you back on in the future and you can join in with that.
I'm only coming back if I get to witness it.
that'll be good for Nate, I think. Now we will move on to the League 2 roundup section. Now, once again, this is the section where we go through everything League 2. We discuss the league table, fixtures, results, and even the goal scorers today, which I've got the stat. Now, last week, again, it wasn't just us who had a match. There was all other matches in League 2. I will quickly go through the results from Saturday, and we'll quickly look through the league table. So, last Saturday, as we know, Borough drew 2-2 at home to Macclesfield. The results were Crawley 1, Cheltenham 0, Crewe 2, Bradford 1, Exeter 1, Mansfield 0, Forest Green 0, Newport 2, Northampton 3, Plymouth 1. Bit of a surprise.
Say that again?
Northampton 3, Plymouth 1.
Jesus.
Yeah, a bit of a surprising game. Plymouth have doing great the last couple of matches, haven't they? They've struggled.
Bradford have struggled a lot.
Yeah, I think since we played Bradford, they've gone at a bit of poor form.
Plymouth must be really struggling about coming down, because I mean, when we played them in the FA Cup last season, they embarrassed us, didn't they? Really?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know how we got to the 94th, 95th minute without conceding.
Yeah, we didn't turn up, did we?
We were absolutely dreadful, and they had played with width. They really expansive.
You could see the difference from League 2 to League 1.
Yeah,
massively.
It's a huge difference.
I completely agree.
And if they're now coming down and losing 3-1 at Northampton, which I don't want to take anything away from Northampton because that's a fantastic result. But if they're doing that, that's not great.
I know, and they started brilliantly as well, so that's a bit surprising. We've got Oldham 0, Colchester 1, Port Vale 1, Cambridge 0, Salford 1, Leyton Orient 1, Scunthorpe 0, Carlisle 1, Swindon 3, Morecambe 1, and Walsall 1, Grimsby 3. So there were quite a few goals, a lot of games scoring 3 goals. I think, Scunthorpe again losing 1-0. They signed Jamie Proctor. They're having a really tough start, tougher than ourselves, aren't they? 1 point and we're 2 points clear. It shows Scunthorpe are in a bit of a tricky one.
Half as good as us.
Half as good as us, yeah, we like to take that, won't we? And we're out the bottom 2, well, bottom 1 as we say. Port Vale beating Cambridge 1-0. Port Vale have started okay, they've got a couple of wins in the bag. Morecambe losing, Grimsby getting another win. Grimsby are 4th at the minute, 3-1. James Hansen up there, he won't stop scoring goals.
Wish he would.
Yeah, I wish he would. Now, from last Saturday, I have got the league table in front of me. I will quickly read out the league table now. I will start from the bottom. So, a bit more of a positive.
Get
it over out the way. Currently in 24th place with 1 point is Scunthorpe. Currently in 23rd place with 3 points is Borough, ourselves. Woo. Right there, outside the relegation spot, staying up. 22nd place, Oldham Athletic with 4 points. 21st place with 5 points is Walsall. And 20th place with 5 points also is Morecambe.
I was really bad coming down and getting that.
But a lot of people say this. But when you're losing and things haven't changed, like say you haven't changed manager, you haven't changed team, you're not going to continue to win as well as, or start winning like people think you do.
And the difference between League 1 and League 2 isn't as huge as like it is for the Premier League and the Championship, is it? So you can't go down, change nothing, and do much better.
It's different.
It's a lot harder to do.
It's different if you're a team, say like Bradford, who have got money and they can spend and they can invest. I don't know what Walsall's budget is. I don't know if they've got a massive.
I mean, they've got huge teams around them, haven't they? They're literally in the middle.
Birmingham.
They're literally in the middle of West Brom, Wolves, Villa.
Exactly. So they're not going to. They don't have massive.
Similar to our position.
They're going to really struggle to make it.
So yeah,
I completely agree. Interesting to be down there. Top of the table, quickly read it out. Currently in first place, 14 points, doing really well. Exeter City, doing up there in first.
That great one there.
Nah, Nick, that brilliant goal at the end, didn't
they? It was a nick, wasn't it? A 0-0 would have been
a really good
fair
point,
result. We absolutely didn't deserve a win. But
I don't think they did either.
Not drawing that was
not. Yeah, I was quite competitive. Yeah, I completely agree.
But they didn't look like they were going to be romping.
Yeah, I completely agree. Second place, Newport County, 12 points. Third place, 12 points. We mentioned this team a lot at the start. Crewe Alexandra, Fourth place with 11 points, Grimsby Town. Fifth place with 11 points, also Swindon Town. Sixth place with 10 points, Plymouth. Seventh place with also 10 points, Macclesfield. And eighth place, also with 10 points, is Crawley Town. So quite a competitive start. There's only 4 points separating eighth to top. And even ourselves, only 11 points off the top considering our start. So it's quite a competitive division at the minute. It looks very competitive and yeah, quite a good league table. Now, obviously, once again, we have got fixtures this Saturday. Now, I will come on to the fixtures prediction competition in a little bit. I'm really quickly, just before we do that, going to run through the fixtures Saturday. Some good games, to be fair.
Yeah.
Obviously, Borough away at Cheltenham this Saturday. We've got Bradford v Northampton, Cambridge v Forest Green, Carlisle versus Exeter, Colchester Walsall, Grimsby v Crewe, Leyton Orient v Swindon, Macclesfield v Crawley, Mansfield v Scunthorpe, Morecambe v Salford, Newport v Port Vale, and Plymouth v Oldham. So some tough matches there Saturday, including ourselves. Now, we will come on to, and again, I say every week, and we do need to get a new name for this.
Yeah, we do.
The League 2 fixtures prediction competition. We're going to roll with it, but we do need to get a name.
Find a sponsor.
Yeah, we do need to find a sponsor. Hopefully we can get the Lamix or Burger King involved. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Now, this is a competition where I tweet out the fixtures and Facebook out the fixtures. How it works is, if you get a prediction right in League 2, that's 3 points. If you get half a prediction correct, that's 2 points for getting one team's goal scoring line right. No points for a wrong prediction, and if you can get a prediction correct with Borough involved, you get 1 extra bonus point. Now, it was, and I'll be honest, the highest scoring weekend we've had, which is, I've got to be honest, is brilliant. There are some fantastic scores. I'm just going to read out some. High score, 24 points, was Patrick Jackson. Now, Patrick had his first weekend, he got 24 points, and then he's got another 24 points, so he holds the 2 highest weekend scores. Harley's not happy about that because Harley was currently first, winning by 2 points in front of him. Don't worry, Harley, you're still in with a shout. Second,
it's not the point, though.
It's not the point at all. Second highest score was Borough Bits with 20. So well done, Joe. He's done it again. He's up there with 20 points. Well done, Joe.
How close to the bottom is he now then? Is he still closer to the bottom than the top?
He's not really near it anymore. He's coming into the mid-table.
Exactly.
So he's catching up.
He's not a threat. Really.
He's not a threat. We also have some other mentions. Reece Donnelly, 18 points. This is a bit heartbreaking for you because you're not in the top 6. Like, for me, it was my highest scoring weekend with 17.
For me, it was probably my lowest.
It probably was. Danny Lusby also getting the same as me, 17 points. Now, I'll quickly run through the league table. We did have Jack Slater joining last week. We have got Nate joining today, so we'll quickly go through these in a bit. 13th at the minute, 15 points is Jack Slater. 12th with 33 points is Charlie Vaughan. 11th place with 42 points is Reece Donnelly. You see him down there. In 10th place with 44 points is Borough Bits. Well done, Joe, climbing the table. In 9th with 47 points, Mark Slater. 8th with 53 points, Ollie Long. 7th with 62 points, doing really well, James Walker. Also in 6th place, James is 7th. 6th place with 62 points. In the same point category is Hartley Borough. Well done, Hartley. 5th place with 69 points is Danny Lusby. 4th place with 73 points, I'm quite happy about this one, is myself, Matt Farley. In the top 4, I'll take that, to be fair. Top 3, this is where it gets interesting. 3rd place with 78 points is Aidan Cheevers. I'm only 5 points behind him. In 2nd place, and he's not going to enjoy this, with 86 points is Harley Clark. So he was giving
He's come to the end.
He was giving it the big one last week, and now look at him. He's well in 2nd there. And currently top with 95 points, 5 points off 100, is Patrick Jackson. So well done, Patrick. Big round of applause for Patrick. That's absolutely fantastic there, Patrick. Now we will come to the fixtures, our predictions for this Saturday. Now, Nate, because you're the guest today, we will come to your fixtures first. Now, fly through your fixtures. Don't even need an explanation. Fly through them, including boroughs, and we'll jot them down.
Sure, right, okay. Bradford 1, Northampton 0.
Okay.
Cambridge 0, Forest Green 0. Carlisle 0, Exeter 2. Cheltenham 1, Stevenage 2. Colchester 1, Walsall 0. Grimsby 1, Crewe 1. Yep. Orient 2, Swindon 2. Macclesfield 1, Crawley 0. Mansfield 1, Scunthorpe 0. Actually, no, I'm going to make that Mansfield 2.
Okay.
Mansfield 2, Scunthorpe 0.
Okay.
Morecambe 1, Sky FC 2.
Yeah.
I
like that.
Newport 2, Port Vale 1, and Plymouth 2, Oldham 0.
Okay, Nate, thank you very much for your fixtures. We'll put them in the prediction and we'll be bottom of the... Well, no, actually, Nate could be top if Jack gets 0, but don't worry, you'll work your way up. We'll get you up there, no problem.
If I'm starting this late in, if anybody finishes below me, they need to have a word with themselves.
Or they owe you a pint.
And stop watching football.
But I'm just saying, if you do finish bottom, you get the worst loser's price. So you still get something to finish bottoms. Don't worry about it.
I'm here to win, mate.
You're here to win. He's here to make up 95 points.
I don't care how late I'm starting. You're all going down.
Now, Harley, fly us for your predictions, mate. No need for an explanation.
I'm going 2-1 Bradford against Northampton.
Okay.
I'm going 1-1 between Cambridge and Forest Green. Carlisle 1, Exeter 2. Cheltenham 0, Stevenage 2. Colchester 1, Walsall 0. Grimsby 1, Crewe 2. Leyton Orient 1, Swindon 1. Macclesfield 2, Crawley 1. Mansfield 1, Scunthorpe 0. Morecambe 1, Salford 1. Newport 2, Port Vale 0. Plymouth 2, Oldham 1.
Okay, mate. Thank you for your predictions there. They're quite good, actually. I thought a lot of goals in there, similar to mine. I can never get the difference between yourself and me.
But somehow he's still smashing you.
He literally is. Now, I'm going to quickly run through my fixtures. Now, I am going to start with Boroughs. I am going Cheltenham 0, Borough 1. So I'm actually doing us to win 1-0 away. Come on, the Borough. Need a win, honestly. I've got Bradford 2, Northampton 1, Cambridge 1, Forest Green 1, Carlisle 0, Exeter 2, Colchester 3, Walsall 1, Grimsby 1, Crewe 1, Leyton Orient 1, Swindon 2, Macclesfield 2, Crawley 1, Morecambe 1, Salford 2. I've gone Mansfield 2, Scunthorpe 0, Newport 3, Port Vale 1, and Plymouth 2, Oldham 0. So quite a contrast results. A couple of away wins in there, including ourselves. So really good to go through them, guys. But again, I will be tweeting out on Facebook tonight the fixtures. Please get involved if you want to get involved. We've got with Nate, I do believe we've got 14 players. Not bad accumulation of people there. Got to be honest, it's quite good. So I'll be sending them out tonight. Get involved, and it's great fun. Now, really quickly, boys, before we move on, there was something that I did forget to mention after the league table. The goal scorers in the division. I'm just going to quickly read this out because I did say we were going to do this today. Something that Joe did last week, and I've forgotten it for the first month. So Joe's actually helped us out there in a way. Yes. Goal scorers in League 2, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, top 6. We've got 4 goals. God, I can't say this. Bez Lubala of Crawley. Well done, Bez. We have also got 4 goals. Luis Alessandro from Morecambe. 4 goals. Luke Norris for Colchester. Owen, I think that's how you pronounce it. Owen Doyle with 5 goals. Danny Rose with 5 goals. On top of the list at the minute is James Hanson of Grimsby, 5 goals and 2 assists. So they're the top goal scorers in League 2. Oh, we'll add Curtis Guthrie and Luther with 1. So he'll be down there somewhere. Which is quite
better than 0.
Better than 0. We've got our first goal. Now, we're coming to the end of the podcast tonight, lads. Now, we will move on to our last section because we haven't got Fan Zone or Harley and Farley's Disagreement Corner. A bit of a short one tonight than last week. This is the Q&A fan section. So this is when support send in their questions for our panel. Now, luckily, we have got 6. So we've got 2 each,
Wonderful.
Which is brilliant. Now, there are a couple of big questions. A lot of typing, so I'm going to quickly try and get through these questions as best as I can. Harley, I'm going to come to you first with the first question. This is and there's a reason why I've come to you.
Yeah.
This question is from Patrick Jackson.
Great.
Who's 9 points ahead of you in the league.
Let's move on. What's the question?
Now, Patrick has asked, when are you going to catch him up on the... No, I'm joking, he hasn't really. Patrick has asked, how excited are you about the signing of Craig McHale-Smith?
I'm quite excited because it's not necessarily for the footballing side of things, but I think we're missing a player like Revs in terms of a locker room leader.
Okay.
Because we lost, obviously, Ronnie Emery, who's semi-retired now. Revs has retired completely and has gone into coaching. Who have we got that's been around the block? Right, yeah, we've got Joel Byram, but not really. We've never had anyone really to look up to in the dressing room at the moment and be there for saying it's all right. We can get through this and stuff. And so I think I'm really looking forward to it. On the footballing side of things, he looked quite good last night.
He did, didn't he?
As he has for the last 10
exactly.
15 years, banging them in.
His control on the ball was second to none. It was...
Again, I really like what you said earlier, and I agree with it. I've wanted to see him at Borough for years.
Yeah.
And even when he was at Notts County last season, they were going down, I was thinking, oh God, I'd like to see him at our place. It's quite nice that we've got him, isn't it?
Did he score it?
Oh, very good question. I don't think he did.
I think he might have scored against us at
because I remember seeing last season. Of course, he did. So it would have been away.
For Peterborough whenever we used to play them, and Brighton and Luton, he always used to score, didn't he? So, no, really good answer there, Harley. Now, Nate, you are getting the next question, and this is from SFC Fox. So I don't know who that is, but that's their name in this. We got our first goal of the season after Oldfield left. Was he holding us back?
No.
I think that's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
I completely agree. I don't know where that question's come from.
No, it's got absolutely nothing to do with...
It's like he's chained the centre forwards in at training, isn't it?
No, I would be astounded if there was anything that he was doing that was having a negative impact on our ability to put the ball in the net on a Saturday afternoon. As a very strange suggestion.
No, really good answer to that. I think that was only one answer to that. Next question. Now, this question, I'm going to take this, boys, because this is a very long paragraph.
One.
I think this
person... That's normally how it goes.
This person likes doing essays and dissertations for questions, but no, thank you very much for his question. This question is from Aidan Habibi. Now, Aidan has asked... just get myself ready for this. When Bielsa first became Leeds manager, he trained them into the ground with excessive hours and paid the price, resulting in an injured team. People say that injuries aren't Dino's fault, but it's funny they start happening as soon as Chair departs and we lack quality. Thoughts? Now, my thoughts on that question is, again, I've said this on the podcast in the past, I don't think that the injuries are Dino's fault. I think if you actually have a look at a lot of the injuries, they're collisions in matches. If you want to look at Cuthbert's, Van Kooten's, Saw's last night, for example, Charlie Lakin, who come on to Mansfield, they've just all got injured in the game. I think it's unfortunate. I understand that people say what's going on in training, but I will say this again. We've got such a big injury list. I doubt he's really running them into the ground considering our injury list. So I don't really think he's at fault for the injuries. No. The little bit about Chair, I don't see the link with
it's
Chair.
A really strange one saying we were lacking quality just because Chair's gone. If you look at the team now compared to when Chair was here, we've got a far better squad of players now.
I completely agree with that.
Regardless of how good Chair is, we could see List doing better than Chair. Obviously, he's going to have longer to do it. But he could have. I completely agree with this point. But the quality of the team is far greater.
I completely agree with this point. If you looked at that team that ended the season, collectively as a team, I believe we've got much better of a side. But obviously, Chair come in and he did what he did. But if you look at it as a whole, as a pie, we've got so much of a better team, haven't we?
Yeah.
And to say that I know he hasn't said it technically in the question, but it's getting very frustrating to see on places like Twitter and Facebook when we're about to announce a signing, every comment saying, "Please be Chair."
I'm getting a bit sick.
It's like he ain't gonna come down. They're not even. How many games has he played already?
He's played like 4 games for QPR already this season. He's starting that.
And he's
doing too well. He's got assists.
He's scoring and assisting. They ain't going to let him go. And if they do, it's going to be to a top League One team. It's not
and do you know what?
Mid-table.
I am going to make this...
like Lincoln, who obviously flying.
No, that'll be higher. No, he'll be top League One.
Well, Lincoln the second.
I will say this about Chair, though, and again, I've seen this so many times on social media, people saying, Chair changed our season. Well, of course he was going to. He's such a good player. He would have done it for anyone, wouldn't he, in the division? I mean, he's such a good player.
Anywhere he was going to go in was going to have a big impact. I think it was you said last year he was probably worth, actually, at the end of the day, about 6 points.
Yeah, it worked out to be about 6 or 7 points.
Obviously, like we said, the actual impact in the stands was much, much higher because he came in and
goals he scored.
He came in scoring bangers, putting it on a plate for Guthrie, so he was scoring more. You know, the whole improvement in the club was noticeable, but
If you look at the points
if you look at the table,
do you know, it's really interesting.
Enormous.
There was an argument on Twitter earlier, and I was reading it. It was between Reece and a few other. I think it was actually Aiden included. And Reece was actually putting up the results from when Chair started to the end. And actually, there's a lot of losses. There isn't a lot of wins.
Yeah, still a lot of losses.
Oh, at Lincoln we got a draw, but wasn't a win. Still a draw. A lot of losses. You know, Tranmere away. I was there that day. It was dreadful, and he started the whole game. So. There are games there where Chair played and he had no impact.
And the draw against Exeter was diabolical,
yeah, I could.
And the season.
And I just
admittedly, they're a good side, but we played absolutely rubbish.
I agree with you. I just think that some of the manner of the goals really hyped the team, and I just think actually, if you actually
like Wilding on Saturday,
in a way. Right, we'll fly through these questions, boys.
Less like Wilding on Saturday.
Literally, Luther 45 Wild doing that. Now we'll quickly fly through these last three. Next question coming for you, Harley.
Sure.
Given our midfield has changed so much in the opening matches, and this is from Newby Borough. Who would you pick to play there, and what formation suits us best for dominating fixtures?
I think I can't really whether or not we've played 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. That's normally worked out for us. Like look at the end of last season. I think anytime we have a formation where we've got 4 at the back with quite attacking fullbacks, and then five in the middle, it seems to work quite well. So. Like I think your formation worked out to be 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
When we play that sort of formation, it seems to work quite well because we've got the 2 centre mids who can just sit there and pick up the ball.
There's still 4 players to go forward and
exactly.
really attacking, and
exactly
then
that.
you chuck the fullbacks, wing backs in the mix going forward as well. Those 2 midfielders can drop back, and you've still got 4 at the back. It might be a little bit more narrow.
Yeah, no, exactly
but
that.
You've got 4 in the middle to really mop things up. So.
Yeah, really good answer there, Harley. I like that. 2 more questions to go. This one's coming for you, Nate. This is from Richie Rich. And Richie Rich has asked, should Bury be allowed to rejoin League 2?
No.
Good question. Good answer.
Again, straightforward.
I like that, though. There's no beating around the bush, you know?
Does he mean if they can prove things, and should they be let back in now, or should they be let back in next season? Doesn't matter. The answer, no, it doesn't matter. The answer's still no.
Yeah. Would you say National League, non-league?
Yeah, go back to. I mean, what happened to Chester? What happened to Hereford? If you let Bury back in, you have to let everyone back in.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, really good answer.
And I know the situation is slightly different because technically they're new clubs, Chester and Hereford. They're not the same club. They're not playing in the same place.
It's AFC, yeah.
They're different. Technically, they're different clubs, but actually, the situation's the same. They've been expelled from the league. Yeah. You don't come back unless you earn it.
No, really good answer. I like that, Nate. Now, last question. Someone sent this question in, and I saw it on Twitter, but then deleted the question. So I don't know who actually sent this in, but I read it and then went back on. It was gone. So I don't know who sent this question in. So if you're listening, I did get your question, but I just didn't see who put it in. The question, I'm just going to say, is from Anonymous. And Anonymous has asked, is September make or break for Dino's job?
It was actually me. No, it wasn't.
No. I don't know who it was. But was it you, Harley? No. Now, I'll say, I think in regards to, if you look at the wins on the table, our opening month, we've only got 3 draws, 3 points from 18, and you could look upon September as, make or break month for Dino's job. If we don't start winning matches and, say, for example, we don't win any more matches in September, I think you've got an argument there to say, well, look, we've had 2 months, haven't improved, haven't won many matches down the bottom. You've got an argument to say that maybe someone else could, or Samson could take over. But, again, it's a tricky one because he's got a lot of injuries there. If quite a few of these injured players do come back as well, and we don't start winning matches, then you've got a very good argument. It's still tough without the injured players. But there's 3 home matches there that I like to think are all winnable games, to be honest. So you could say that September, for him to be able to keep his job and continue the job, you could argue that that's a very important month for us coming up. But really good question, whoever that was from. I don't know who it was from, so I'm very sorry I didn't see. Thank you to all the listeners who sent in their questions. Some really good questions today, and 6 and 2 each there. It's really, really good. Now we've come to the end of the podcast. So we've been going... How long have we been going? An hour and 8?
Yeah,
minutes,
about
which is
an hour and 9.
hour and 8, hour and 9, nearly hour and 10, 11 minutes. No, it's been a really, really good podcast today, lads. I've got to be honest, we've got through a lot, and obviously, we've got a big match Saturday, so hopefully this time next week we'll have 6 points on the board, and we'll be going into Carlisle with a bit of optimism. Thanks for joining me today, lads.
You're very welcome.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Always
No problem. No, Harley, once again, thank you. And Nate, it's been brilliant having you on, mate. We'll have to get you back on in the future. Once again, thanks to all the listeners. Before we go, I quickly do need to announce something. Now, myself and Harley, last Saturday, were involved in a Dream Team interview on social media. So, Dream Team have posted something on Facebook and Instagram and on Twitter. An interview that me and Harley did. It even involved Reece Donnelly, talking about the club, everything Borough, and a link to Bolton and Bury. Please go and check that out. It was a really good interview, didn't it? We really enjoyed it. We were doing it for 20 minutes. You can see our handsome faces, on camera. Please go and give it a look. Also, one other thing, on the 21st of December, is that right? Thank God. 21st of December, we are holding our very own Stevenage Football Club podcast charity football match. Now, this football match is going to be taking place at 9:30 a.m. We're hopefully going, the venue's not confirmed yet. Hopefully we can get the 3G opposite the club. That'd be great. We're going to be holding our own very...
All the club.
All the Lamex, imagine that. We're going to be holding our very own charity football match for children with cancer. I have been tweeting out and Facebooking out people that want to join. We have got about 23 people at the minute, so we've nearly got two full teams. What we're going to do is we're going to get our own kits, have a big game, get everyone involved. Hopefully we can get some of the coaches and managers and players down before the match. We have got a home match that day against Crewe Alexandria just before Christmas, so don't worry if you're playing. You'll have plenty of time to make the match after if you do want to play. Again, I will be tweeting, Facebooking some more details on it soon. But yeah, if you want to get involved, please tweet us, please Facebook us, and we'll put you down. But no, thank you to all the listeners for listening. Just before we go, boys, one word I say it every week: win, lose or draw. Harley, I'll ask you Saturday. Win, Nate.
Win.
I'm going to say win as well. So we've got 3 wins. This time next week we will be doing the look down a match away at Cheltenham, and we will be doing the build up for Carlisle, so it should be good next week. Thanks for all the listeners, thanks for everyone that got involved. We will see you next week for another really good podcast. You've been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.